Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, I'm talking about a new phenomenon in the rap game, Mr. 645 AR, For the Trap. That's the name of his biggest song, the song that's really been making the rounds since he dropped it in January earlier this year. And he has a pretty unique style, pretty unique rap style, which I encourage you to check out via the link below. I'm going to maybe play just a smidge of this and just give you a little bit of a taste of it, taste of what this dude has to offer. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. I think some of you maybe reacting to that might think that maybe there's some kind of weird effect or vocal processing involved there to make his voice sound like that. And while it is touched up and it sounds like there's some kind of auto-tune or something on his voice, he does actually deliver in that register. His voice, he actually does spit that high pitch, this, which, I mean, I cannot imagine performing through an entire song like that, because just doing it for that few seconds there really just starts making my throat feel like I would imagine that your voice would give out after that. It's like actually kind of intense to be doing that continuously for minutes and minutes and minutes at a time. But that is this guy's style. That's what this dude does. And honestly, I have not ever heard anything like it. The closest thing that I could think of is maybe Ice JJ Fish. But the case with that dude is that he's, just if I could say to the king of R&B, it's just, forgive me. But with him, it's just kind of a case of bad singing. With 645 AR, it's on like another fucking planet. Some of you may be wondering in response to this, is this serious? Is this dude serious? Is this dude for real? I mean, if you look at his back history, it would seem that that's the case. I mean, you look at him on YouTube, dude has tons of videos, also a new Genius video, of course, that dropped less than a week ago, where he's explaining the track, explaining the lyrics. And the lyrics on many of his songs, as far as the tone of what's being said, he's not trying to be like overly jokey or anything like that. I mean, lyrically, he's saying a lot of stuff that other rappers say and have said, who are essentially of the same, wave and generation that he is. And again, he has lots of other music videos over here where he's pretty much rapping in the same tone of voice. At least one that I caught where he is delivering in a more normal register. Now, I don't deny that the dude has a pretty strong sense of humor that is definitely indicated by some of the cover art of his projects, by a music video like Bible and AK, where he's like a preacher with a gun and he's, anointing people with the AK. Also, this video Plan over here is pretty hilarious as well, with all the CGI stuff and the like military references. So dude definitely has a sense of humor, and he has been on SoundCloud for quite a while now. The early stuff on his SoundCloud page, he is rapping in a normal register. So he hasn't always been doing the squeaky voice thing. It actually doesn't seem to be until about several months ago, with maybe, and I'm just gauging this from what I was able to peruse on his SoundCloud page over here, this weird-ass project over here, where he's depicted as like a little puppet or a marionette being controlled by a Powerpuff Girl, Mickey Mouse, Elmo, and Big Bird, which maybe does kind of make sense in that, is he being like a tiny little puppet character or something? I mean, from what he indicates in the Genius video, he came upon this voice just kind of fooling around in the studio and decided to stick with it, and it seems like that has been really hitting for him, so I think he is going to continue down that road. And mind you, not every track on this project does he deliver in that squeaky register, but this seems to be the aha moment where he is really kind of consistently staying with this voice for numerous tracks. And ever since, I mean, that sort of seems like the path that he's been taking with most of his new material. So, I mean, I like the the cartoony aesthetics too of his promotional art, which I think plays into his voice and his sound. Look, it sounds silly and it sounds strange, and I'm not even going to say that it sounds great all the time. It is certainly odd, but I wouldn't say necessarily that it's unserious. This is kind of a case of a lot of artists in this generation who are so embedded and have just grown up with meme culture and internet humor and weird shit like this in the bloodstream of the art that they consume on a regular basis, to the point where doing something like this conceptually isn't maybe as outlandish as it might have been 10 or 15 years ago. Because while there is an element of novelty to it, he's been doing this so consistently and so straight-faced for so long that you can't help but feel like, yeah, he's like, actually, this is for real. He's not fucking around, which I guess in a way you have to respect. I mean, I certainly respect what he's doing with this vocal register more than I do somebody who is just trying to sound like every other artist out there and just sounds like some cookie cutter auto crooner. This is a glitch in the matrix. This is somebody just jumping off of the beaten path and kind of forging their own. And are there elements of 645 AR's music that could be better? Certainly. Sometimes the beats come off a little run of the mill. Sometimes the melodies he is squeaking out are a bit forgettable. I guess I would also hate to see him paint himself in a corner with this voice as well, but I don't think the voice is necessarily what needs to change at this point. 645 AR seems like he is the real deal to me. Keeping in mind an artist can do something weird, can do something absurd, can show their sense of humor while still making a serious piece of art. One final thing I want to say before I wrap up my commentary on 645's music is that potentially his voice sounds a little weirder than it is given the context that it's in. Not to say his rapping and singing wouldn't sound strange over a pop instrumental or an EDM instrumental, but there are other genres of music and artists out there that have built a reputation on basically delivering their vocals with a strange or abrasive style. At one time, that was certainly the case with black metal, but for the most part, black metal style vocals have become very much accepted in the metal community. Same thing with grunty death metal vocals. Vocalists such as, I'll say, Yoko Ono, who still to this day is seen as unorthodox by many people. So I'm not sure if I wanted to say anything else in this video other than I think this is interesting. I think what this dude is doing is definitely out there and respectable, at least on those grounds. I'm putting it forward to you and wondering what you guys think of this as well. I think what 645 AR is doing right now is in a very weird and a very early state, and I think that what he's doing could potentially inspire other people to embrace weird vocal deliveries or inflections in their own music. In a way, I see what he's doing here as being like a subdivision of a subdivision of a subdivision of Playboi Carti's Baby Boys. It's so far removed from that in a lot of different ways, but still, you get my point. So again, let me know your thoughts on 645 AR's music. Give it a try, give it a shot. We will link you to some of it below, and over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, 645 AR, forever.